friends! Today I'm going to teach you how to paint trees. In the background here I've made a nice little autumn scene for our trees to live. We're going to be using oil paints, some traditional brushes, and the liquin blending medium. I'll put a list of the materials you're going to need down in the description below. So let's go ahead and get started. So before you get started, you want to mix up your paint colors. What I've done here, since I'm doing a red tree because it's an autumn scene, I've mixed some alizarin crimson, cadmium red mixture right here, alizarin crimson, cadmium red, and white mixed here, and alizarin crimson with black and cadmium red here. So I got a dark, medium, and a light color. This is what I'm going to use to make the leaves for my trees. Also over here, I've mixed Van Dyke brown with titanium white to make this light tan color, and then I got straight Van Dyke brown here. This is what I'm going to use to do the tree trunk. For this part you're going to need a small fan brush and a liner brush. So now it's time to decide where our tree is going to live. And we do this by creating the trunk. And so I want my tree to be somewhere like right here. And you can go upwards or downwards, it doesn't make a difference, whatever is more comfortable to you. And this is just Van Dyke brown, straight Van Dyke brown. And I like to mix a little turpentine with my Van Dyke brown just to thin it up a little bit. If you don't thin up your paint, you're going to have a really rough time doing this. Down here at the bottom, you just kind of want to imagine what the root system might be doing. Since this is on a hill, I'm going to try to follow the lay of the land here that I've already set up, like so. There. So now I'm just taking my liner brush and I'm just going to add the little side branches that I'm going to put in here. So now that my basic tree trunk shape is on the canvas, I'm ready to add leaves. So now I'm going to mix some of my liquin with a little bit of my pink color. And I'm going to start by making the outline of the tree where the highlights are and then working into the dark areas. So what I want to do is imagine where the edge of the leaves are going to be and put them in. So here we go. We're just thinking of the shape of the tree, the shape of the outline of what this basic shape of this tree is going to look like. Not worrying about any details quite yet. And I'm going to start from the top and I'm going to work myself down to the bottom. Now I'm going to take my medium red color and mix it with some liquin blending medium. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to go underneath the light part. And again, I'm focusing on my light source. My light source is coming from the top left side of this painting. So I'm going to make everything to the left a little brighter and everything on the top a little brighter. And then it's going to get darker as I go down closer to the ground. And you can let some of this red bleed on into the pink color. That's perfectly okay. Now I'm going to add my dark color, and I'm going to go in and add the shadows. So I'm imagining little puffs of leaves, and they get darker at the bottom or underneath, the underneath part where the light wouldn't be hitting them, and lighter at the top. Now I'm going to go in with my pink and I'm going to do another row here. So like this. I know you're saying, now you've done it, you've just covered up all those branches under there, but I'm going to go back and add some lighter tones to that and they're going to pop right back out and you're going to see them again. It's no big deal. You want to make sure your edges are kind of rough so they look like leaves, so I'm just dabbing the brush with darker paint on the edges here. Add a little more of a dark area right here. So once that basic form gets down on the canvas, you'll start to see it, and then you can start to make more plans and tweak it a little to make it look more like a tree than a blob of paint. Okay, now we're going to go in and we're going to do it again on this bottom area right here. So I'm going to be mindful of these mountains in the background and try not to cover too much of that. Just trying to imagine the edge of the leaves where they would be. Take my medium tone, go ahead, start popping it in. Maybe this comes out like that in there. Let's go in on this side, give it the highlights it needs, or the shadows. Let's do it again. Now let's go over here and do it again where this branch comes out. And when I do trees, I like to think of a staircase. I do one here, one here, one here, and then a big thing at the top. And that helps me avoid making big puffy circles like this over here. Sometimes that happens. I have to be careful to leave space in between the branches so you can see the background through the tree. Okay, let's go ahead and put one in right about here. So, so I've been working on this for a minute, and now I think I need to add a little branch right here. So let's go ahead and do that with the liner brush. Now we're going to take our pink color and we're just going to make a little, do it again right in this side. You can take your red, you add your medium red color. Okay, now once your leaves are all set, you want to start your tree trunk and your branches. So what I like to do is I get the light brown color that I created earlier. Now I want to start at the top, and I'm going to use my small fan brush, and I'm just going to figure out where all the tree's branches are. Like that. You want to make sure that the branches get smaller as they get closer to the end. Once you've done that, you go back with your dark red color and you just kind of blend in the bottom areas. Now I've added a little white to my light brown color, and I'm just going to create more drama in the highlights with a lighter shade of tan. we're just going to work our way down the bottom part of this tree. Now you want to mix a little of that tan color in with the white. Go back and trace that edge again. Now I'm taking my liner brush and I'm just doing downward strokes with it with some white on the end of it, just to give it a little more three-dimensional features. Okay, now that your trunk is all painted in, I like to take my palette knife and just make some little lines in the trunk area, like so. This gives the illusion of bark. Now I'm going to go up to the top of my palette knife and do the same thing. I'm just going to scratch in some little lines. So the best way to get the bark is just scrape down with your palette knife. Just cut little lines in the paint like this. So I'm just taking some white and adding a little highlight right here where the sun would hit the tree. So now I'm mixing some liquin and white with the pink color I have and just get a little lighter tone and make sure it's good and wet. And we're going to use the specialty brush. And I'm just going to go in around the edges here and just tap really lightly. And this makes it look like leaves. Now with the same specialty brush, I'm just going to go back in and kind of touch up some of my little areas here. Just to add a little more red where I think it's necessary. So now at the base of the tree, you're going to want to go in with your fan brush and just kind of touch it up where the grass is, like so. Now I've mixed a little green with the black. I'm going to go in and put a little indication of a shadow here. Just because the light source is coming from the right, we're going to have less light right here in this little area. So now you want to mix up some sky color, which is just Prussian blue and white. Then you get your small fan brush and you just put little dots here and there where you think the light should be shining through the tree. Well, that should do it. I can always go back in and add details later. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'd be happy to help you. Also, subscribe to my channel. Be seeing you!